What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing a more informative booty and hamstring workout. First, let's talk a little bit about the glutes and what they're responsible for. So the first thing our glutes are responsible for are hip flexion. Our hamstrings also get involved in this, and our hamstrings and glutes also get involved in hip extension. So a lot of our workouts are going to be based around these movements. The first thing I started with was a dumbbell stiff-legged deadlift. I placed a bench right behind my calves just so I could really focus on that hip flexion and extension at the top. So that would be flexion, that's extension. This is really going to target my hamstrings. I should be going a little bit slower. I don't know why I was so rushed, but normally I work with these a little bit slower at like a 1-2 and then 1-2 up. This one's a little bit better. Jeez, Nicole, be a good role model. But I did some stiff-legged deadlifts here. I did 3 sets of 10 to 12. That 10 to 12 is within the hypertrophy range, which means muscle growth, which if you're trying to build a booty, that's the range you should kind of stick around. Now the next exercise that I did is so crucial for booty development, and that is the good old barbell hip thrust. It has been shown that the most glute engagement happens in this exercise or any sort of hip hinging exercise. So that would include glute bridges, sumo deadlifts, conventional deadlifts. Wait, you guys are probably wondering, why didn't you say squats? That's not a hip hinging movement. So a barbell hip thrust is one of the best when it comes to building the booty. Now typically you want to stick with a compound movement such as the hip thrust or squats at the beginning of your workout, just because they are so taxing on the body. So just keep that in mind if you guys are going to follow this workout right after. The other exercise I moved on to was some lighter, just barbell back squat. Like I mentioned earlier, the barbell back squat is not the best for glute development. However, you can see my toes are slightly turned out. When you slightly turn out your toes, your glutes will naturally become more engaged, which that's what we want if we want to build a booty. Now you can also see that when I come up, I push my hips forward and I really squeeze my butt at the top. Gonna be honest, ladies, like when you're wearing leggings and training legs, the butt doesn't look nice. We're trying to build a nice butt, but it's not gonna look nice in the process. So squat down when I come up, push my hips forward and squeeze your booty cheeks really hard. That's just going to help with that muscle-mind connection and really squeeze and engage the glutes. The other exercise I moved on to was the lying leg curl. Machines are great, especially for isolation like this. So this is just working on my hamstrings, really focusing on bringing that little handle all the way up to my glutes and all the way back down. So full range of motion here. And I did 3 sets of 12 reps on this. I also hopped on a decline leg press for some single-legged presses. I also did 2 feet, like a 2-footed press. On the single leg press, I tilted my foot, so I angled it in a direction that was facing the opposite. So if I was putting my my left leg up, I turned it to the right. That way I could get the outer part of my glute. Just make sure your knee is tracking in line with your toes to avoid injury. I also placed my feet high on the platform, slightly turned them out to engage the glutes, and did a burnout set. So I did 3 sets of 20 here, just to really focus on pumping some blood into the muscle. The higher rep you do, the more cardio-based your workout is going to be and the less muscle building. The lower reps you do, the more muscle building we're getting into. However, in my sport of bodybuilding, the range that I like best is that 8 to 12, 10 to 12 for me is my favorite. And yeah, we're just burning out the booty here, doing a little bit higher rep, about 3 sets of 20. Another absolutely, like, hands down amazing exercise for glutes is the good old GHD machine. You don't need weight on this either, so it's awesome if you guys are a little sore. Here you can see that I'm going from flexion to extension. We talked about that earlier, so this would be flexion, extension, flexion, extension. You guys get the point. And you can also do this weighted, so grab a plate, make it a little bit more challenging, And I do a little bit higher rep on this just because my glutes and my legs are kind of strong. So I do 3 sets of 15 reps. And also, make sure you're squeezing that booty at the top. It's not going to look pretty, but it's necessary. The last exercise that I did in today's video was called a scorpion. You're going to find a Smith machine and a bench. Be careful with this. You do not want to go heavy at all, but it really focuses on that hip extension and allows your hamstrings to get engaged and your glutes. So put your feet on the Smith machine. You're going to unlock it and make sure you have the safeties right by you so the bar can't fall on you. But place your feet on the bar and you're basically just doing a double-footed glute kickback on the Smith machine. This one's a little bit tricky, so be careful if you guys are a beginner into lifting, but it really kills the glutes and the booty for sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and also hit subscribe. I hope you all have a bootyful day.